You guys might not have heard, but Rock Dog 3 Battle the Beat is now available to rent on VOD. And while Rock Dog 2 was absolutely terrible, how did I feel about this new film? Well, stick around and let's talk about it. When the young performers on a music contest show admit they have never heard of Angus Scattergood, Bodi is compelled to join the show to restore the rock legend's good name. The film stars Graham Hamilton, Ashleigh Ball, Andrew Francis, Kathleen Barr, Eddie Izzard, Bethany Brown, Nicole Oliver, Doran Bell, Jason Simpson, and Donnie Lucas, and many others, and was directed by Anthony Bell, and he's done films like Norm of the North, Family Vacation, Alpha and Omega, and he's also done the Nickelodeon series Rocket Power, As Told by Ginger, and Rugrats. Going into Rock Dog 3 Battle the Beat, I really had really low expectations. In 2021, I reviewed Rock Dog 2, which is a huge step down from Rock Dog, the original film. The original Rock Dog came out in 2016, and it wasn't a hit. It actually failed and didn't make any money, so I was really surprised when they made Rock Dog 2. So making a Rock Dog 3 after watching Rock Dog 2, I was even more shocked that this one was coming out straight to VOD. This was a different director, which was nice. Of course, the main characters that replaced all the ones in the original film, because all the voices change from the first to the second film. All the ones that change into the second film, they are all back here for the third film. The only original voice that returns from the first film is Angus Scattergood, played by Eddie Izzard. He wasn't in the second film, he's more so mentioned, and in this film, he is doing a little bit more. He's not really a big, full, centralized character in the plot. A lot of the stuff that he does is more so the comedy that is kind of off, not really into the plot, but more so off screen and just kind of getting a little laughs out of the kids. Bodi is back home from tour. He's in a very well-established band and he's chilling at home and he sees this show on TV. He is really taken back by it because there's not enough rock and roll. He ends up taking place of a musical coach and he is going to train this pop group called K9 after Angus Scattergood is kicked off the show. You have this sheep named Hazel who wants to cause friction between sheeps and wolves. Sheeps and wolves, they are now in harmony versus the first film. The second film, they all came together and they were all established as not enemies at that point. So her goal is to basically cause tension. It's not a real good villain, I would say. The villain is probably the most negative thing I can say about this film, but I do like seeing Bodi on screen interact with these girls. They look very similar to Alvin and the Chipmunks. I really thought the animation here, it really did remind me of the Alvin and the Chipmunks Nickelodeon TV show, and that makes sense because this director directed some other Nickelodeon TV shows, so the animation makes a lot of sense. I think the animation did go through improvements compared to the second film. The second film was very poor, and I thought a lot of the characters were just kind of copied and pasted, and they didn't do a really good job of developing those characters. The villain isn't that great, but I think there is a good bond between Bodi and these three girls, and he's trying to teach them responsibility and teach them, you're doing these auto-tune kind of music, but you need to write from the heart, write a song that really reflects your emotions and get those emotions out there so people hear you and hear what you're all about. And I think Bodi does a really good job of having that direction for these girls. Although I will say that his character in here, he's kind of a jackass at times, which was a little bit out of character for him. Most of the time in the films, he's pretty positive and he's really easygoing. It's really hard when they switch the original actor from the first to the second film. Now I guess I'm kind of used to it, but it's just really weird because I still hear the original actor's voice from the first film. I do like that they paid tribute to other musicians in this film. For instance, there is another contestant that is on the musical show, and he looks exactly like Slash from Guns N' Roses, so it has that rock and roll vibe, and I like that they paid tribute to it. They also have the hippo, who is the other game show host with the wolf, and he really looks very similar to Elton John. He's got the colorful wings, he's got the rainbow colors, and I can see where they paid tribute to Elton John. the overall look, how the show is, it's not a very complicated show, but it's just really good seeing the bond that Bodi has with his character, and the hippo, how he has his bond with this Slash character. Now, the show, it tries to have a little bit of comedy on it. It's not like a really funny film or anything like that. There are some funny things that happen. I think most of the funny stuff happens more so with Angus Scattergood's character. But again, his character, it doesn't really have a big effect on the plot itself. He's just kind of out there. But it was nice to see him back on screen because they completely just didn't even have him in the second film. They mentioned him, but they never had him in the second film. I think this film, it's an okay film. I think it's a big improvement from the second film, and I think they actually did a better job constructing this film. And I think I would say that I actually enjoyed this film. I'm not saying it's a really awesome kids film or anything like that, but I think I have a little soft spot for it. I would give a score of it a 2.5 out of 5. It's never going to be as good as the first film, and for whatever reason, I have a soft spot with lower budget kid films. I like lower budget kid films for whatever reason, and a lot of times the non-popular ones like this I end up liking a lot more a lot of times. I guess because kid films, they dumb down the plot a lot more, and I'm okay with that. So it's just something where I can kind of ease my mind off of things and just watch it for what it is and pick up on some of the kid and adult humor that they throw into these films. So I think this film overall, it's a decent kids film. I think kids, they will enjoy this film for what it is. It has some pretty good coloring, I would say. And I think that the characters, they're likable. And I think the kids will really get into the characters, especially the girls that are singing in this, the dogs that are in this canine group. I think that little kids will enjoy this film. And I think it's a solid film on VOD for $5.99 for what I paid. I think I got what I wanted out of it, and that's really all I can ask for. But let me know in the comments, have you checked out this film? Have you seen any of these films before? And if you haven't, is it something that you would like to check out? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching this review, and I will see you guys on my next review.